Hey, what's up? Todd here, and welcome to another edition of Pickup Lab, where I introduce the newest and most cutting-edge tactics, ideas, techniques in pickup. This one came directly out of, I was breaking down some student infield for the Miami immersion program, and I noticed a lot of the students, they were showing intent, but everything they did to show intent, it was basically saying, "Here are my balls on a platter, madam." It's basically giving away all their power. And so I realized there's this paradox for a lot of people where they'd like to show intent, but they don't know how to show intent without being needy, right? How to show intent without making it too obvious, too sexual, and putting the girl on a pedestal, all those kind of things. And so what I came to realize is that there are really two ways to show intent, and I'm gonna call them honest intent and dishonest intent, okay? And it all comes back to the concept of supplication, which, by the way, is also the inner game theory or inner game video for this month. So go ahead and watch that as well so you totally understand what supplication is. But what I realized was there's a way to show intent that gives away your power and a way to show intent that doesn't. So I'll explain through example. A lot of guys use this opener, this standard sort of stock opener. Hey, I thought you were cute, so I just wanted to come over here and say hi to you, okay? And that's not per se the worst, depending how you say it. Like, hey, thought you were cute, I want to come over and say hi to you. That's not that bad. Most guys say it in a much worse way, and like, hey, I just thought you were cute, and I wanted to come over here and say hi to you. And what they're really saying is, I think it's weird to do pickup. I have to make apologies for the fact that I'm attracted to you as a woman, and I just wanted to justify so that hopefully you wouldn't be offended. So what they're doing there is they're showing some intent, but they're completely giving away their power. They're saying, here, madam, here are my balls, okay? Contrast that to a guy I know who does something that a lot of people would say is more intentful, therefore more risky, gives away more power, but in fact it does the opposite. And what he says, he walks right over to a girl, this is more of a night game opener, walks right over and goes, hey, I want to put a baby in you, right? Which is pretty damn extreme, right? But the thing of it is, the first one, the hey, I thought you were cute, I wanted to meet you, is very politically correct. It's very much, oh, I don't want to offend you, I don't want to step out of line, whatever you think will be okay, don't mind me, that kind of thing. When you say, I want to put a baby in you, yes, it is actually more overtly sexual than the other line, but it's also irreverent. It also gives the possibility of a negative response. It's putting it, when you say, I want to put a baby in you, you are saying, I find you sexually attractive, but you're also saying, I don't give a fuck if I offend you. I don't care. I have a strong frame. I'm gonna say what I'm gonna say, and if you don't like it, feel free to not like it, right? And so that's how you show intent without giving your power away. And essentially what it is, it's intent without supplication, right? It's intent from where you're dictating the frame instead of succumbing to her frame. You could say it's like a strong intent versus a weak intent, if you like. The reason I use the terms honest and dishonest, though, is most of the time, I think, when guys do the dishonest intent, the bad, weak intent, what they're actually doing is they're trying to shelter themselves from a rejection. They're doing intent not with the idea behind it of, I want to turn the girl on, or I want to have sex or move the interaction forward. They're doing it with the intent, with the idea of like, I know this is what I'm supposed to be doing, I kind of hate doing it, and I really hope that nothing bad comes out of it. And so their main objective is to avoid pain, rather than to create pleasure and create positivity. And so it comes off very fake. It comes off very much button pushing and needy and reactive. So ironically, the very bad reaction they're trying to avoid is exactly the reaction they almost certainly create, right? And you see this over and over again. Like whenever girls are, if you've ever had a period where you're touching girls a lot and they're like, ooh, don't touch me, or they get like very creeped out by it, it probably isn't that you're touching too much. Like a lot of guys think that. They come to me like, am I touching the girls too much? Oftentimes not. You'd be shocked if you touch in the right way with the right vibe, exactly how physical you can get, how much you can escalate, how much intent you can show. It's crazy. Like the level of intentfulness and physicality when you see my set or other instructor sets, that kind of stuff, it's through the roof, okay? But the thing is, we're doing it from a powerful frame. We're not doing this from this like, please accept me kind of frame. When you do it from the please accept me kind of frame, it really, because it's needy and you're touching, look, girls like to get escalated on in a way, if you even think of it that way. Girls like to be touched by an alpha guy who they're attracted to. Girls do not want to be touched by a guy who seems lame and needy, right? So if at the exact same moment you're touching them, you seem lame and needy, you're almost certainly going to get a very, very negative reaction, okay? So with any escalation, you want to be thinking about where's it coming from. Is it coming from your frame and your true intentions, and you're putting it out there and you're saying, fuck it, this is what I believe, this is what I'm putting out, do as you will with it? Or are you putting it out there hoping for a reaction? You're putting it out there in a button pushing way. And I will say that most of intentful statements, most of escalations, most of the times that guys try and pull, it is coming from this place of trying to be politically correct, trying to avoid a bad negative response rather than trying to actually get a strong positive response, all right? So what I want to tell you is make your intent honest. Really be thinking, I want to have sex with you. I want to turn you on. I have these beliefs, I'm putting my personality into the world, and that's just how it is. If you are trying to be politically correct, the very fact that you're trying to avoid that negative reaction is what's going to cause the negative reaction. One final point I want to add. The needy, dishonest intent has one other huge drawback, and that is it becomes very, very obvious and predictable. In that sense, it kills sexual tension. So what I mean is, say, let's go back to that original opener. When you go up and you say, hey, I thought you were cute, I wanted to come talk to you, my name is. When you do that opener, well, what you're kind of doing is you're saying, like, I've already made a decision. I've already decided that I would like to have sex with you. That means that having sex with me is not a win. There's no doubt in your mind whether you could. There's no sexual tension, so it kills all the tension. Now, when you say that I want to have a baby, I want to put a baby in you, right? When you say that, it is very overt and it is very sexual, but it's so irreverent. They're like, is he fucking around? Is he serious? Can I control this man? He's a little unpredictable. There still maintains some sexual tension, and that's very, very, very key. Because if a girl goes all the way to sex with you, knowing that she's going to have sex with you, then that's a slutty thing. But if it's just there's some sexual tension and she's not sure, it's more exciting, and also she's less slutty in going down that path. So in terms of getting actual results, especially advanced level results where the girl's chasing you, it's super critical that you not be so obvious and boring and not give your power away in such a direct way, okay? That's one final reason, but a very critical one, why it's very important that your intent be honest as opposed to this dishonest, needy, manipulative form.